Warning, this video may contain French people. Viewer discretion is advised.
June 7th, 2003, we have a Raw exclusive UK pay-per-view taking place in Newcastle, England. And it was the final UK WWE pay-per-view until 2022's Clash at the Castle, which I attended. And the final one in England until Money in the Bank 2023, which I also attended. It took place at the Telewest Arena in front of 10,000 people. A solid opening video package and an awesome set with a huge X in the middle. Why is X such a cool looking letter? Match 1. Women's Championship Trish Stratus vs Jazz. Trish Stratus and her puppies are here. She looks so good. She is facing off against a jacked Jazz. Stacked versus jacked. The match was fine. It was a bit boring at times, the middle got better and nothing they did was really much wrong. The ending was a bit flat, but the title was never going to change at a glorified house show, was it? It was just a passable match at most. Trish looked good though, so that's a positive. Rating a C-. Match 2, Intercontinental Championship, Booker T vs Christian.
Oh, it's not good.
Lots of stalling throughout this match, but it does get going eventually, and there are some good sequences between them. Booker T's comeback was quite good, he has some very cool maneuvers. But this match did drag a bit, it just never hit into third gear and went very long. The commentary is more entertaining than the match. They have a debate over if baseball exists in the UK. Jim Ross says, "Of course it is." It isn't a thing over here, I can tell you. Crickets and rounders are about as close as you get. We get a ref bump which costs Booker the match, as a title change is not happening on this show. Christian wins with a poorly done cheating roll-up. Not a great match, I was kind of bored during it. Rating a D+. Stone Cold confronts Teddy Long and puts him in a match against the Dudley Boys and Spike Dudley in an entertaining backstage segment. Match 3, World Tag Team Championship, Kane and Rob Van Dam vs the French people, La Resistance. Kane was beaten by Rene Dupree and Stone Cold had enough of his bullshit and tried to get Kane to fire up and become a monster again. But he didn't. French people. No one likes France. We get a "We hate Frenchies" chant. W from the crowd there. RVD plays face in Para well, and he really was the star of this match. His moves and selling were really good. And we get a hot tag to Kane, who does well, including hitting an epic top rope clothesline. Kane hit a double chokeslam, and RVD followed with a 5-star frog splash to win. This match was actually good. Nothing very good, but a solid bout nonetheless. Rating a C+. Al Snow of all people is interviewing Goldust. He is doing his stuttering gimmick, and I can tell you it is super entertaining. He is so funny, especially in this era. The reason for it is before WrestleMania, Triple H electrocuted him. Don't ask. Match 4, Goldust vs Rico. Rico comes out with his stupid sideburns, glasses and a terrible jacket. He looks insufferable. And I can say I have never been less excited for a match.
Here's me on the scale of caring. I'm at 0.
And this match dragged. It felt like a 20-minute match and it did not earn that right. This was so boring and uninspired.
I watched the match and a matter of fact I fell asleep in the middle of it.
Technically, nothing bad happened, but I just did not care, and they did nothing to make me care. I found myself groaning at each kick out. This is a forgettable Raw match, not a pay-per-view match. Good lord. Rating a D. Up next, we get a low-rent version of the highlight reel with Chris Jericho. He insults the fans and then gives us an insanely ass-kissing intro to his guest Eric Bischoff and his banger theme song. It is funny given their history. They continue to insult the British people. We don't all have bad teeth, by the way. Just 85%. Before they can continue, Stone Cold arrives uninvited. He is very funny here, and they agree to drink beer, with Jericho doing a hilarious call to the crowd to chant.
If you want to see Chris Jericho drink a beer with Steve Austin, say do-wah-diddy-diddy-dum-diddy-do.
Of course, Austin stuns Jericho and Bischoff. Fine segment, decently entertaining. Match 5, Christopher Nowinski, Rodney Mack and Theodore Long versus the Dudley Boys and Spike Dudley. This felt like a house show match. It was fine and fun enough, but just didn't feel that interesting. The best part was Bubba dancing mid-match. That was quite funny, but also didn't help the house show vibes. The post-match ended after Long is punched by Rodney Mack by accident, allowing Spike to pin him. Post-match, Nowinski gets 3D'd through a table. Rating, a C-. Match 6, Test vs Scott Steiner. Val Venus is the special guest referee. He introduces Stacy Keibler, who is looking mighty fine with her 41-inch legs. They truly go for days. Even JR is horny for Stacy. She introduces Test as her ex-boyfriend and then introduces Scott Steiner as the big bad booty daddy. Stacy leaves the ring and Scott gets the perfect view of her ass. He tells her to come back in and back out again. Man of culture. The biggest heel move ever happens when Test wraps a towel around Stacy.
Rude!
Crowd chants take it off. They do not care about this match. Stacy is more over than both of them. The actual match is nothing good. We get a long-ass sleeper hold from Test, to which we hear a smattering of boring chants. Steiner makes his comeback after Stacy removes the towel and gyrates before throwing it at Test's face. Test shoves Steiner into Stacy and boots him before mocking Steiner with push-ups. Decent stuff there. The match ends when Test gets a chair, but Stacy grabs it down and Steiner hits a move to win. I don't know the name of it. It was barely passable. Stacy was the highlight and her skirt was insanely short, which is great. The final minute of the match was decent. Rating, a D+. Main event, World Heavyweight Championship, Triple H vs Kevin Nash in a street fight. Shawn Michaels arrives to be in Kevin's corner, Flair is as usual in Triple H's corner. This was a good physical brawl between two former friends. It was definitely overbooked, but it kind of worked for me here. It was quite fun with tons of ref bumps. It just needed that one big spot to really cement it. But there is no point doing that when they had a Hell in a Cell match booked for the next week. Nash's jackknife was also clean as hell. Flair did not need to bleed, but Triple H bleeding I can understand. Triple H wins after hitting Nash with a sledgehammer. Pretty good main event on a horrible show. Rating, a B-. Not a very good a show at all. This was a glorified house show with phoned in performances. The worst offender being Goldust vs Rico, which was long, boring and a chore to sit through. The main event between Nash and Hunter was the best match by a mile. It was good stuff. The moment of the night was Austin stunning Jericho. Not much to choose from. Sexy moment of the night is of course Stacy Keibler's entrance. She is stunning. MVP awards. Only one person per match can get an award. Bronze medal goes to Stacy Keibler for those legs for days. Silver goes to RVD for a fun performance. And gold goes to Stone Cold for being so damn entertaining and a crowd pleaser. Thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. You won't do it, but I'll say it anyways.
Peace out, my brothers.